Welcome to Sobermentum Today, where we talk about middle-of-the-road drinking and how trying on an alcohol-free lifestyle might just help you show up as a better version of yourself for your life, your loved ones, and everything that matters to you most. I am your host, Morgan Smith. Today's topic is why your attempts to take a break from drinking have failed, the 4 headwinds that are working against you, and how you can overcome each of them. But before we get started, I'd like to offer you a helpful tool. If you're questioning your drinking, which can be a very healthy thing to do, by the way, or wondering whether you should consider cutting back, you can find out exactly where you stand on the alcohol drinker spectrum. Just click on the link in the description box below, and you can download the free info guide. Now, on to today's topic. And so now we're going to talk about the subconscious mind and its role in this equation. And it cannot be understated how significant your subconscious mind is in this entire equation. I'm going to put the infographic back up on the screen here. And again, if you're listening on the podcast, this is the infographic I referred to earlier, where it's sort of a side profile view of a person's head. And the very top, let's say 10%, is comprised of the conscious mind. But the 90% below that is the subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is essentially, it's a deep archive of beliefs and assumptions and experiences. And it's been it's like a catalog of these thousands and thousands of different data points that you've encountered throughout your life from all manner of experience and information and knowledge and emotions and sort of cultural influences. And its job primarily is to function as your inner autopilot. So when you learn new information, whether that be, let's say, a language, or whether that be a skill, it could be writing, when you learn how to write words when you're a kid, or you learn certain other skills, athletic skills, or how to play a musical instrument, for example, things that involve physicality. We learn these things through the portal of the conscious mind, but then they, over time, through repetition, through repeated experience, get committed down into the subconscious mind. And that's when you get to that point where we call things second nature. They just happen second nature. One of the best examples I can think of this is learning how to drive a car, right? And you think back to when you're young and you're learning how to drive a car. I mean, it's just, you have to think about everything's happening in your conscious mind. I have to put my hands in these positions on the steering wheel, and then I have to remember I go through these steps. I have to look in the rear view mirror. I have to look in the side mirror. I have to turn my blinker on, and then I have to simultaneously be pressing on either the gas or the brake, and I'm looking around. My head's on a swivel. I'm doing all these things, and you do that consistently over and over and over. You repeat that experience, that process, that sequence. And in a matter of time, you look at someone who's been driving for a couple decades, all of those things long since have been committed to the subconscious mind. You don't even think about them. You turn your blinker on, you don't think about it. You're carrying on a conversation with another passenger in the car while you're checking the mirrors, looking, stepping on the brakes, stepping on the gas, the light's red, the light's green. All these things are happening, and it's all below the surface. It's all in your subconscious mind. So why is it important to discuss all of that? Well, it's important because your subconscious mind is going to be the last one to get on board with your game plan to try to change the trajectory of your relationship with alcohol. Okay, think of it as like a massive cruise ship out in the ocean. Okay, so the captain and crew in the tiny little, I'm not very well versed in boat terminology, so whatever that little area is where they reside, where they got the big round, steering wheel, they decide, okay, we're going to go in this direction. We're going this direction. We're going to change. So they start turning the steering wheel and all that. Well, that's the conscious mind. Okay, that little area where they're operating, the decision that they've made, that's the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is the rest of this massive ship that does not turn on a dime, that's going to take a whole lot of space and time to just sort of slowly turn around or turn in this new direction. And this is also the case with your subconscious mind. You have conditioned your subconscious mind through hundreds and probably thousands of episodes of drinking throughout the course of your drinking career, if you will. And so there's more buried down on that hard drive than you can ever possibly even be aware of. You have come to associate drinking with so many different people and places and events and times of day and times of year, and in some cases sounds and smells. And I mean, it's incomprehensible for you to even be able to drill down into how much of that information is packed down in there. So when it comes to sort of saving over that, this is where it's the steps that we talked about taking for changing your conscious mind's beliefs. Ultimately, those are going to trickle down into your subconscious mind. But how do you win with your subconscious mind? Well, there's really two factors that are the most critical. Okay, one is the consistency. Okay, we talked about you taking in that new information. Okay, we also talked about the importance with respect to the brain's reward center of maintaining consistency, of keeping the alcohol out of the equation. Okay, the consistency has to be there because you're trying to paper over just loads and loads of old data, and you've got to give it new data. And consistency is key. Okay, you can't toggle back and forth because your subconscious mind is never going to get the memo. Your subconscious mind, it doesn't really judge what's good or bad. It is simply doing what you have conditioned it to do. It is recording the experiences that you're giving it, and then it is serving them up on those occasions when it thinks you're supposed to do the thing. And if you drink every Friday night, and you've drank every Friday night for years, when Friday night rolls around, your subconscious mind is going to bubble up, hey, it's time to drink, right? So the only way to overcome that is through consistently doing the different thing, the new thing, instead. Okay? So that's one, is the consistency factor. And then two is time. The subconscious mind does not learn quickly. And I don't care what anybody tells you about how you can just change your mind about drinking and you know, you're done. Like read a book and it's cured. Go to a seminar, decide that I don't want to drink ever again, and it's cured. Your subconscious mind did not get that memo. I'm sorry to tell you. If your subconscious mind could learn that quickly, then you could go to one class on how to do something, okay, whatever it is, some skill, and you'd know it forever. You'd be a master with one class. Nope, not going to happen. You can't go, if you want to learn how to speak Spanish and you do not know how to speak Spanish, you cannot go to one hour class on how to speak Spanish and know how to speak it. There's too much information that needs to be learned, and there is too much time and repeated experience that needs to happen for that to get committed down into your subconscious mind. You're learning this new language of sobriety, of living sober, of experiencing Monday nights sober and Friday nights and Sunday afternoons when I'm watching football, and all of these experiences where you used to do them with alcohol, you're now doing them without the alcohol. And you have to do it with consistency, but it is going to take time. And this is one of the reasons why I recommend to the folks that I work with, when you're planning on taking your break from drinking, okay, and again, I call it a sober vacation, doing it for like 30 days, which a lot of break from drinking sort of challenges, or like there's the dry January in the United Kingdom, or I think it's dry July in Australia, just as examples. While they're definitely admirable efforts, taking just 30 days off from this, I mean, you're just barely scratching the surface. If you're someone who's been drinking to excess for many, many years and maybe even decades, 30 days is just a drop in the bucket. It's not enough. It's not enough. I'd recommend, 60 days would be the absolute bare minimum, and even that's not even close to being enough. 90 days is a lot better. 100 days is cool because it's triple digits and it's, a larger goal to shoot for. quite honestly, I'd say go for a year. If that scares the hell out of you to take a year off from drinking, then I think maybe you need to reevaluate your how important it is to you, and consider why it's so important to you. Is it giving you that much? But again, time is the most critical factor, and consistency of repeated new experiences, so that you can program or reprogram rather your subconscious mind, and allow these new beliefs and assumptions about alcohol to take root, and you'll be able to see that, "Oh, I thought I needed it to have fun. I thought I needed it to socialize. I thought I needed it to enhance my vacation. I thought I needed it for this, that, and the other." And you finally come to realize that you didn't. And guess what? You didn't need it before you drank. When you were younger, you went through all kinds of fun, awesome, just great, enjoyable life experiences without it. You never needed it, and you don't need it now.